Robschild, nothing I say is investment advice. Welcome to the show where we view financial markets through crystal ball gazing. JP Morgan once said, millionaires don't need astrologers, but billionaires do. And so we begin. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2024. Most important data coming out this week: Wednesday's CPI and Thursday's PPI. Overall, it seemed to me that markets didn't really do very much today. There's a few slightly interesting things, but most investors, most active investors, and market analysts are waiting to see CPI and PPI and see what it does to markets. So today and tomorrow, I'm not expecting a lot of things to be happening, but Wednesday and Thursday could send things jostling around at the least, and maybe not. It's amazing how sometimes you hear everybody getting all excited about the next CPI report, and literally nothing happens. So let's move on to the headlines first. I just wanted to point out a headline I saw today on CNBC.com. Jamie Dimon says AI may be as impactful on humanity as the printing press, electricity, and computers. And I agree. I think AI may even be more impactful than all three of those inventions. My only concern, as far as it being an investable opportunity, is, well, how do you get into this? What do you invest in? How do you take advantage of this? As I had been saying before, I use AI almost on a daily basis now, and I'm not paying anything for it. And so, where's all of this profit supposed to come from? That's sort of my big question in it. I mean, I'd say once we start seeing an investable, front runner that just takes over, that like everybody has. So here's, a lot of people have the Alexa thing, right? You talk to the Alexa ball, and you can ask it questions. That was sort of the first like AI bot that we had that you could talk to. Supposedly Neo, by the way, a Chinese car company, has their own one that has better AI integrated into it. And so the question is, who's gonna put that out? That's my big question. Who's going to have a device in everyone's home that you can just ask it, hey, do this for me, do that for me, that just dominates, or answer this question for me, and it gives you like a real, correct, thorough, well thought out answer. It doesn't exist yet, as far as anything I can tell, but if that does exist at some point in the future, that to me seems like the most investable opportunity, as far as something that I can understand and easily grasp as potentially extremely valuable tool for humanity, and what company is making that. But let's move on to the charts for the day. As I mentioned, I don't see anything very interesting. The S&P 500 basically ended flat today. So see that little number up there? It's a negative 0.04% down for the day. That's essentially flat. We're still within this. It's so funny. Thursday was such a giant day. I was sort of expecting more craziness in markets to continue afterwards, but it seems like we want to wait. It seems to me that we seem to want to wait for the CPI and PPI coming out later this week, maybe, before we see what happens next. Next thing I wanted to point out was the green index. I had mentioned, on that Thursday we had dipped down to 50 or 49 on the neutral. I thought maybe we would be heading straight to fear, and instead we bounced right back up into greed. Yesterday's close at 61, and today we're at 66, getting more greedy in markets. What I see this as potentially being is maybe short sellers getting a little, not really wanting to participate until CPI and PPI come out. You know, because of the potential movements that those things can make in markets, investors need to be a little extra careful. And so I think that might be what's going on here. I don't really know. Now, with things going sideways, it's certainly nothing to get very comfortable about. The VIX is still very elevated compared to very recent history. If you just look at these daily candles here, this is a bullish pattern, and it it's most likely this thing will be continuing higher based on this momentum here we see in the VIX. Last two charts I wanted to mention today was copper miners. This is called a hangman candle, and it can often represent a top in markets, a top in a pattern, a chart pattern. This can easily be a reversal. I think it might be. We had such a great run in copper here that it's probably time for a decent pullback, if not a complete reversal. Last chart I want to mention is the 30-year bond yield. It's interesting what's happening here. We're closing below what was the highest high intraday from April 3rd, but during the day we definitely were a lot higher. We hit as high as almost 4.6, it looks like, on the 30-year bond. And so I'm very, very curious and interested to see where we go from here. I did not expect this jump here. I thought we would be a little bit more nice in this channel here, or maybe see a breakout of this head and shoulders kind of going down, so the head being here, right shoulder being here. Instead we're going up, and so this is just crazy all over the place. I mean, if I just draw some quick lines on here, oh, I see it now. Okay. So it's a little bit of a wedge, and this is within line of this pattern. If we break higher than here, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if we can get back up to 5% on this, or if this is just a testing of this line before we go back to test the lower line. I don't know. We'll see. Not a lot. Nothing really was like very striking or that interesting in markets today that I noticed. But yeah, watch out for that CPI and PPI later this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. Robschild.